Now, Ms. Parks, I'm going to take you to February 13th of 2023, the day that the defendant was arrested. Do you recall two detectives, Detective Xavier Biggers, or I said Lieutenant Xavier Biggers, and Corporal Austin Georiga coming to your parents' house to talk to you about the night of July 26, 2022, the night that Susana Morales went missing?
Yes.
Do you recall your conversation that you had with them at that time?
No.
Do you recall them asking you about the night, though, that she went missing?
A little bit, yeah.
I understand. There's the questioning that they were asking you in that day related to the night of, and you chasing, the allegation that the defendant had made of you chasing him around Norcross that night. Do you remember them asking you about that?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you, after you broke up with him in June of 2022, did you remain in communication with the defendant?
Yes.
How often?
Every other day. We remained as friends.
And you remained as somewhat more than friends even after that, right?
No.
Okay. Now, Ms. Parks, I'm going to have to remind you, you've previously testified that after you broke up with the defendant in June of 2022, that you and the defendant remained friends with benefits. Do you recall testifying that just a few weeks ago?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No.
Okay. Well, Ms. Parks, I'm asking you now.
Okay.
Did you remain friends with benefits with the defendant after you broke up with him?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you also testified that you stayed in the apartment after you broke up for months. Do you recall testifying that even after you broke up, you were living in that apartment with him for months?
A little bit. Yes.
You do remember that?
A little bit.
Okay. Now, this is only 2 weeks ago. Do you remember testifying about that?
A little bit. I have a mom brain, so I tend to forget a lot of things.
I understand. You have, and we'll clarify, you have a newborn son?
A 5-month-old.
5 months. That's it. Yeah. How often would you spend time romantically with the defendant? And I say romantically, but you're saying friends with benefits, so we could also say sexually. How often were you spending time with the defendant sexually after you broke up?
I can't remember.
Do you remember testifying 2 weeks ago that it was every week?
No.
Let me ask you, but even after you broke up with the defendant, or you ended the relationship with the defendant, did you exchange text messages with him?
A little bit.
A little bit. Do you recall me telling you that there was over 1,600 pages of text messages between the two of you after this?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little more than a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Parks, I know you don't want to be here, and I know you don't want to testify, but I need you to be honest and truthful about your answers, okay?
Okay.
Those messages, were they about, a lot of those messages, were you and the defendant arguing about your relationship?
Yes.
And even months, 6 months after you broke up, were you sending him messages about wanting to spend your life together and loving him and those types of things?
I can't remember.
Do you remember me showing you those text messages 2 weeks ago and having you read out in court those messages where you were sending to him?
You're going to have to refresh my memory.
Okay. I'm going to take you to the night of July 26th, 2022. At that time, you were still living in the home with the defendant?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
No.
You remember telling Lieutenant Biggers and Corporal Georiga that you were living in the apartment with him that night?
I can't remember that far back.
I'm not asking whether you can remember that far back. I'm asking if you remember telling Lieutenant Biggers and Corporal Georiga on February 13th, 2023, when they came to your home, that you were living with the defendant in the home that night.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you have any kind of medical issue that causes
No,
you
I
not to remember?
just don't remember.
Okay, he's asking you questions from 2 weeks ago.
I have a mom brain. I tend to forget a lot of things. That's why
Okay.
I mean, he can refresh my memory and show me things, and yeah, I can probably work with
I
him.
wondered if you had an issue that we needed to know about, take consideration for. No,
No.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
certainly.
Ms. Parks, I'm going to show you a transcript from your testimony on May 21st of 2024. I'm going to have you look here, and I'm going to direct you to what I'm talking about here.